Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for a purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. For uses of use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, education, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Now let's start this dang show.
You don't have any fights this week? Oh man, we gotta have some fights.
Just thoughts on returning back to Seattle, and apparently they'll have a tribute prepared for you, Geno and Jamal. And just thoughts on returning to Seattle for the first preseason game.
It's the only game we got. Happens to be in Seattle. You know, I loved my time in Seattle and love the fans and the people that we met and dealt with and competed with. But it's a game for us. We can go play ball. I have not heard anything about what you just talked about. I don't know what you're talking about tributes or whatever.
Do you think you'll play your full set of starters on Thursday?
Everybody's alive. Everybody's ready to go.
Would you like to go back to Seattle?
Man, looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing my old teammates, old coaches, people in the building. It'll be fun. Also going back with Pete, that's pretty cool. And then another opportunity to compete with my guys. That's always what it's all about.
Likes to play in the preseason as a starting quarterback, and do you feel like you might be able to get out there?
I like to play football. Whenever we get a chance to suit it up, I'm ready to go, man. This is what I do for a living. I love to play, and every chance I get to go out there and compete, I'm looking forward to it.
What is up, everybody? It is the Cage Match Show. You see that asylum right there? There's a game tomorrow night, man. Tomorrow night in Seattle.
I'm telling you,
yeah.
I can taste it. We're so close, I can taste it.
I'm so close. I'm in Seattle right now. And if you don't believe me, let me get the camera. Oh, I'm out there. See that? Wait, I'm behind a pole. But yeah, I'm right there. That's okay. Behind that pole is a T-Mobile Park, and then to the right over there, yeah, whatever. I can't see. They lied to us. They said you got a view of the stadium. I was like, oh, that means I could have that as a backdrop. No, we got a view. That's there. So, anyways, Asylum, how are you doing?
Like I said, I'm excited. It's so close, I can taste it. I mean, football season. I mean, you can't even. It's not around the corner. It's not this, it's not that. It is literally just hours away.
Yes, it's after the show, it'll be 24 hours until game time. But yeah, I'm ready. Everyone's ready. I know we're all ready to see. Oh, I'm sorry. I know we're all ready to see.
Hearing that all the starters are going to get some time and everything like that, so we're going to see all kinds of action. Everything going. See how well things are starting to. I mean, I expect to see mistakes. It's preseason. We don't know how long they're going to start, but to see how well they're starting to gel and come together and possible game plans. We know it's basic, but to see how well Chip Kelly's fitting in this, his offense, his players got it, how well the defense is coming along with Pete Carroll and all that. It's just one of those. I'm just excited to, I don't expect to be mistake free, but I'm excited to see something put together. I mean, what more can you ask for? Football season is here, baby.
And I'm gonna be there, man. I'm gonna be there. All right, Asylum. Before we get into anything else, let's do our favorite segment real quick and get the show going. Let's do our favorite segment. That is the shameless plug. Where is it at? There it is. Go.
Okay, here we go. Everyone go to the YouTube channel, The Cage Match Show. Like, share, subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Hit that bell. That way, anytime a video, short, clip, whatever we decide to put out drops, and you'll be one of the first to watch it. And if Roger Goodell decides to be the meat curtains he is, and he hasn't tried his shit since that one time, if you haven't noticed, we won. He tries to pull his shit. You can catch us on Facebook, first and foremost on the Oakland Raiders Savage page.
Oh, yeah.
My page, Asylum. We'll let you know when it's safe to come on to the YouTube and everything where it is unfiltered, comes at you live and in your face. Then, when the show's over, go ahead and visit WGG. Browse their variety of different products, or just order that little sampler platter and get yourself a little shaker out of it. Be able to, shake. Anyways, to get that, when you go to checkout, put Cage Match, one word, into the discount code to get 10% off your entire order.
And like we always say, when you think of wins, think of dubs. And when you think of dubs, think of Dubby. Get that energy like Pete Carroll over there getting the people hyped up in Raider Nation land and over there in Vegas coming over to Seattle. I can't wait. Go to w.gg, 10% off your whole order. That is CAGEMATCH, Cage Match in the discount code. And also, make sure you go to www.rn4lifer.com. That is RaiderNationForLifer.com. Compa Fabian, that's his gear. He has great merch over there. He also helped with our merch that I'm going to try to pass around and get some more subs out here in Seattle. I already met 2 Raider fans today, so I'm gonna try to do some stuff tomorrow in the tailgate. So go check that out. And also shouts out to Raiderman 19. He sent me a video. I didn't get a chance to put it up yet, but it will be up for next week's show because I got everything. The internet's already been kind of up and down. But go to Raiderman19.com. Raiderman19. Go check out his podcast, Raiderman from Richmond Podcast. His website is back up. Go check that out. And speaking of Raiderman, he is the one that does the oath at the end of the intro that you hear at the beginning of every single show of the Cage Match. You want to somehow, some way get him to the torch so we can bring that Oakland mystique to the Las Vegas right away and have everyone with the back those back windows open for the whole strip to hear, I am a Raider fan. Asylum, say with me.
I am a Raiders
fan. All right, now Asylum. It is game day. Well, it's game day. It's soon to be game day.
Almost game day.
I'm ready. I'm ready. The first preseason game.
The strawberries are starting to taste like snozberries.
The first preseason game is tomorrow night. I will be there. I'm going to be on the 50-yard line behind the Raider bench. I'm like 6 rows from the bench, so I'm going to try to get in there. I'm going to try to go and get some footage and everything right there in the sideline and see what's going on. A lot of news, Asylum, a lot of news. And we're going to get into that. Hold on. Private messages. I will not slow down, Asylum, because I'm excited. Anyways. Okay. Let's go into the news. We got a lot of news, Asylum, and we're not going to do the CMN. We have our own little buddy to do the CMN. Asylum, can you start that CMN and have the insider inside? He's taking over CMN. So are you ready, Asylum?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
This is CMN, a Cage Match news update. Hello, this is Asylum Burgundy at the Al Davis News Desk for your Cage Match News update. The Raiders have extended their longest tenured player for another 3 years. Left tackle Colton Miller has agreed to a 3-year, $66 million contract extension with $42.5 million of that guaranteed. Since drafted in 2018, the 8-year veteran is one of the last few left from the Oakland era. Injured for most of the 2024 season, Miller has came back 100 for camp and ready to be dominant again. This past weekend, NFL cornerback Eric Allen was officially inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The former Eagle, Saint, and Raider played 14 seasons in the league and finished off his career in Oakland.
In 1998, the Hall of Famer, iconic man, Al Davis and John Gruden convinced me that joining the Oakland Raiders would be the perfect culmination of my career. They were absolutely correct. On that team, I played with tremendous coaches and tremendous players. Hall of Fame coaches, Willie Brown, Freddie B. Bolitnikoff. Outstanding players, Charles Woodson, Timmy Brown, Jerry Rice. That was a culmination of outstanding football players, and we wanted to make sure the Raiders were able to come back and be a huge presence in Oakland. So I appreciate the Davis family for welcoming me in and Raider Nation. Thank you. As Charles Woodson would say, Raiders! Yeah. Al Davis has a statement, commitment to excellence. It's all over our building in Las Vegas. We are trying to make sure that we fulfill that destiny. We fulfill what Al Davis was about. I really appreciate and humbly respect all of the alumni for the Raiders and what they've been able to do to the Hall of Fame. And they've done an amazing job of helping my wife and my family here this whole journey that was the Hall of Fame. Thank you, Raider Nation. Thank you, Mark Davis.
Congratulations, Eric Allen. And as always, once a Raider, always a Raider. Also this past weekend, the Raiders held an open practice mock game at Allegiant Stadium. The first team made some explosive plays on the field. Even Max Crosby took one to the house. It was on and popping. Unfortunately, in a freak collision, safety Lonnie Johnsinger suffered a broken fibula and was carted off the field. It was a sad moment for that young man, especially for it to happen in practice. As he may miss the whole season from this injury, we hope he has a speedy recovery. And this came into the news desk. Breaking news. We have a trade alert. The Raiders have sent cornerback Jacorian Bennett to the Eagles for D-tackle Thomas Booker in a player swap. Reports had said Bennett wasn't fitting in the new defense coverages and was falling back into the depth chart. Booker is an interesting compensation as he is only in his 4th year but will now be on his 3rd team. Enough of this talk. I'm ready for some damn Raider football tomorrow night. This has been your news report. Back to the show.
All right there.
Carroll Jones and Asylum Burgundy for that information. Sorry. You know I got to do that.
Yes, I forgot. But yes, the big trade that happened yesterday. Well, I won't say big trade, but it was a surprise to some, and to others it was like, okay, whatever. But Asylum, looking at this, we'll start off with this part right here. This trade right here, Raiders sending out Jacorian Bennett, which we talked about last week. It's funny how we were talking about the camp battles, and that Jacorian Bennett was probably going to be the odd man out, and I had said that if the Raiders do release him or cut him or whatever, he would probably be one of the first ones to get a phone call and have, where our team was going to jump all over him. Well, then a team decided, hey, how about we just get the guy now? And we ended up getting a D tackle. And looking at his stats, 27 total games played, 2 of them starting, 33 total tackles, 19 solo. He has a sack and a half. That's weird. He has 1 sack and a half. He has 1 quarterback tackle and a half of a tackle of a quarterback. Sack and a half sounds weird. No.
1.5
7. Okay. And then that's supposed to be 2 tackles for loss, no forced fumbles. Played 2 seasons. He's been in the league for 3 years. He's 25 years old, but he's only been on 2 active rosters. When Houston drafted him, and then he was on the practice squad for the Eagles in 2023, and then last year, of course, Super Bowl champion with the Eagles. He did play 17. He did play all those 17 games at 1 start. Last year, 18 tackles, 8 solo, 1 sack. Asylum, what do you think about this pick or this exchange, this compensation for Jacorian Bennett, who also had, high hopes before Pete Carroll came in? He was showing promise last year before he got injured. But what do you think about this right here?
We kind of felt like you said. You talked about it last week. Kind of felt this was happening. We know, we kept hearing Jacorian Bennett was not the prototypical Pete Carroll, DB. He was on the smaller size. He was fast, but that's all he really had going for him in that aspect. He was playing better. And I'm kind of wondering, did this kind of happen quickly, get thrown together quickly because of the whole Christian Wilkins thing, with letting him go and, trying to, I don't want to say fill his shoes, because we don't know if he's going to be able to fill those shoes. Those are some pretty big shoes to fill. But it definitely helps with that position, to go. And then you still have the Tyree Wilsons and everybody else, fighting and everything. Obviously, he's a good rotational player at that position. He doesn't have a lot of starts, but he did play all 17 games on a championship-winning team. So that's one thing that I think is going to be forgotten about, is the fact of, he played in that Super Bowl. He was a part of that destruction of Patrick Mahomes, of that 4-man rush that they were just constantly getting to him with. So, he has that. He's bringing that with him. A little inexperienced, but so is Jacorian Bennett. So it kind of feels and then he also has Rob Leonard's going to get the best out of him, but he has familiarity with a couple of the front office guys that we sniped from the Eagles. So maybe there's something that was seen in him that we all don't know or see quite yet. It'll be interesting to see how he fits into this defense, and if he can take over a starting job, or is he just going to be that rotational piece?
Well, that's a good point right there, rotational piece, because we're not bringing him in to be that guy. And I know, trying to, take over or trying to fill in the shoes of Christian Wilkins, that was supposed to be for the $110 million that we had signed him for before his release. But if Jacorian Bennett was falling down the depth chart, that means Jacorian Bennett was either going to be a 3rd or 4th cornerback or was going to get cut. This guy does not need to come in and be that guy or that dude. He could just come in and just like Demon King said, shout out to Demon King. Demon King said, Rob Leonard will get the best out of him. He's just a guy, rotational piece, especially after all the injuries we had last year on the defensive side. He could just be a guy that could just come in on special, like maybe passing downs, or if he's a run stopper, just certain downs where they need him, or just be a guy that can fill in if a guy needs to get spelled or whatever. So there's no pressure on him having to be that guy. So, you had said an interesting point before we went on air about the whole situation that, if Jacorian Bennett was not working out with the way Pete Carroll and Patrick Graham were setting up the coverages, and it wasn't meshing well with his style of play, he was probably going to get cut. And like you said earlier, before you went on air, that hey, well, at least we got something out of it, because most likely he was going to get cut, and someone was going to pick him up for free off the waivers. So we probably have to just take
even waivers. They could have waited so they didn't have to pay his contract and then giving him a whole new contract. But the difference is we got something out of him.
Yeah.
Whether
I thought they were going to pick him up real quick, though.
No, and I agree. And you're probably right. They probably would have just picked him up off of waivers. Like you said last week, there was going to be teams that were going to make that phone call and make it quick for because he was starting to come into his own. He's also, as Ed pointed out with Nate Hobbs, there was that whole injury problem he had in his first 2 years. He got picked on the rookie year, but towards the end ended up with an injury. And then last year he kept going on and off of injury reserve, not injury reserve, but was just constantly getting injured and everything. So that didn't help. I'm sure that didn't help and go and getting something for him. I think it's the biggest thing. Again, it may only be a rotational piece, but when it comes to that defensive line, he's there. He's 301 pounds. He's a little more athletic and a little smaller than the rest of the guys, but he's there to really fill a hole.
Yeah.
So
and then hold on, let's go to and you got the three that's coming in, Tyree Wilson, Adam Butler, Jonah Lalu. Jonah Lalu.
Okay, Lalu. I like
those three guys right there. One's gonna possibly be a starter, and the other one's gonna be rotating. But you got depth on the defensive line. You add him in, so now you have more depth on the defensive line. So I think. Well, let me ask you: do you think that who got the better of this trade, the Raiders or the Eagles in this trade right here? Who do you think got the better deal out of the player swap?
That's tough because I could go and everyone say I sound like a homer and everything saying the Raiders. And the reason I'm going to say the Raiders though is you got Jacorian Bennett, who is going to a team that already has a stacked defensive back room. So he's not going over there to be a starter. You know that. He's either there in case of injury or rotational piece, just like us getting what's his name? Thomas. Or to help coach him up and he just fits better over there because they might have somebody whose contract might be up next year. So it's easier to let that person go when you have a Jacorian Bennett who's now been in your system for a year, and able to go. But, that's a stacked room over there. So I would have to say, even if they both played rotational parts on their team, I think Thomas might get a little bit more playing time that Bennett's going to get.
Well, here's what Pete Carroll had said. They asked him about the trade. Here's what Pete Carroll had to say about the trade.
Made the trade yesterday, Jacorian Bennett. Sticking on that, how much is this kind of a vote of confidence to some of the younger players that have been?
Well, I like the way you looked at it. Yeah, we like our group. We feel confident in the group, and so that we were able to get another guy that we need on the other side and up front. And so we're really glad to get Thomas and wish JB the best.
What is it about Thomas that you guys like?
His motor. He plays really hard. He's really consistent in his effort. He's big enough and flexible enough to play a number of spots for us. He looks really good in the rotations. That's a heck of a defensive lineman room there that keeps him from playing and getting his numbers up. But we see a lot of positives. We've known him over the years and as he's come up. And so we're really looking forward to what he can do for us.
Right there, he's like rotational piece, come in, athletic guy, big dude. So I think I guess you could say it was an even trade because with Jacorian Bennett, he's still up and coming. He showed flashes last year. We all thought he was going to be the starter coming into this year because of what he showed. Like it was a big leap from year one to year two. He took a giant leap until he got injured. But the Eagles got a quality guy, dude that can cover and can learn under the guys they have over there. And then we have and if he does good, I'm gonna start calling him Booker T. We have Thomas Booker, aka Booker T. Hogan, we're gonna get you. No, anyways, we have him coming in. No pressure on him. Just come in, rotational piece. Get in where we need you to get in. Make some plays. If he has a motor, the whole thing about having a motor, which could be a shot at Wilkins. He wasn't trying to do anyways. But Max Rossi with the motor,
or it's a generic, or it's a generic answer.
I like the drama part of it. Yeah, Wilkins, we got this guy. He's going to be your replacement. In fact, we're going to give him your number. No, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. Anyways.
I do have a question, though. Does anybody know his contract? How long are we going to have him for, and how much are we having to pay him?
Well, yeah, that's one thing that we have to look up. And he's probably because they probably had him on a 1 year or maybe a 2 year, which we should look that up. I only have one screen on my ear.
They had to have him on because I don't remember hearing anything about re-signing. He was on the practice squad with the Eagles in 2023. Last year played for them, right? So, I mean, did he sign a 3 year and this is the second of his 3 year? Just situational. And then how much are we paying for him? Because in that aspect, can this be a steal too, where we're gaining in the position? We got him for a couple years because Jacorian was on that rookie contract, which means he has this year and next year left, most likely. What we're paying out. I mean, if we get any kind of production out of him, is that production to value, cost or production to cost value there or not?
I have your answer right here. In 2024-2025, Thomas Booker signed a 1 year, $915,000 contract with the Eagles, including an average annual salary of $915,000 in 2025. Booker will earn a base salary of $1 million. So 1.03 million, while carrying a cap hit of the same 1.03 million. So the Raiders just took on a 1 year contract, and if he does well, they can re-sign him, and if he doesn't, thank you for playing.
For $1 million, the production that you expect out of him, if he, blows it up and can be in there, gets 3 sacks on the season, is back there, 5 tackles for losses, being that rotational piece, that sounds like it's starting to sound like it could possibly be a steal. Yeah.
So, and this is the new regime. This is the new. We said it last year too. This is the new era. You got Pete Carroll, who knows front office stuff, and then you got Spy Tech, who is our new GM, and with the whole Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they had just won a Super Bowl a few years back, and Tom Brady, he was seen out there, checking out the team on that Saturday practice, that open mock game at Legion Stadium practice. So, I mean, this is a new. This is a new type of organization, a different organization that the Raiders haven't been in the last 20 plus years since Al Davis passed away. Maybe a few years before Al Davis passed away, where they're taking things seriously. They know what they're doing. These are not GMs who, outside of Telesco, these are not GMs who don't know what they're doing. I know Spy Tech, he's not an assistant GM no more. He's a new GM, but he has Pete Carroll, who's done, worked in the office, head of personnel with the Seahawks, now coming to the Raiders. So Pete Carroll, not only is he watching how his coaches are doing, he's also coaching the GM. Maybe, I don't know, putting it all together. So we're making moves. They might seem like, what are you doing? But they're like, okay, these things make sense. So there you go.
Ed, I'm going to answer. Ed, yes, he was at their practice, their training camp, talking with his old defensive coordinator. He is not a Chiefs coach. It ain't like what you're trying to say there. You're reading into everything. And to be honest with you, we all bleed silver and black here. As fans, it's different. But as a young coach, you really expect him never to coach for another team other than the Raiders?
That's the video that I've been trying to upload. This stupid StreamYard, and yeah, I mean, Art Shell, after he left the Raiders, or after Davis let him go in '94, after the '94 season, Art Shell went to go coach the offensive line for the Chiefs, and it's like, hey, there's only 32 jobs out there. You know, if I have to go somewhere,
he has to wear red. He's on their practice field. You have to wear the colors. Tom Brady, I guarantee the Patriots are talking about sacrilegious because he's wearing, Raiders colors. I mean, he has to wear those colors when he's on their practice field because people are going to see it. He has to be in KC gear. I mean, I don't want to see it. It's not what we want. You'll never see me doing it. But at the same time, it is different for us fans who can turn around and say, I will never wear any other color. As a young coach, maybe he's looking for a job. We don't know where he's going to end up. I mean, again, he's just there. Maybe they're picking his brain for this. We don't know the whole reason why he was there. I mean, to me, I'd rather see that with him than seeing Marcus Allen wearing a Chiefs jersey playing against us. That's a whole different story.
Yeah. My friends, I want to. I was reading all that.
Flores actually did.
Flores went to go be head coach for the Seahawks after Al Davis let him go in 1986, 87.
He also coached for, I believe it was the Bills.
He played for the Bills. And he played for the Chiefs.
And it was for the Chiefs.
Yeah. He won Super Bowl 1, 2, 3, 4. Won Super Bowl 4 with the Chiefs. Tom Flores did.
Madden, yes, he gave up and didn't go back to coaching. But your Flores little jab there, you kind of put your foot in your mouth there, Ed. Because Flores actually did do it.
All righty. Hey, look at I get it, because they're like, wait a minute. Just last year, AP was talking about the rules and the Mahomes rules and the Jordan rules, and now he's over there, and it's probably because of Spagnuolo. That was his defensive coordinator.
But I have read it was because of Spagnuolo.
And you know what? John Gruden did it. John Gruden went to go visit Andy Reid, and he was in Chiefs gear last year. So
that was this year.
No, it was last year.
I could have sworn it was this year.
It was last year. I don't know if he did it again this year, but he did it last year.
Now, he might have done it again then. But and I agree. I have an issue when it comes to anything in KC. I don't like to see it at all.
Because you live there.
I mean, trust me. If there was anything going on with Antonio Pierce, I'm sure I'd be the first to hear about
it. Well, let's switch gears right here. I mean, it's like one of those things. And we were AP guys, and you see them right here with the big old, Chiefs, and it is what it is. These guys need jobs. These guys need jobs. He's not. I mean, I think he's trying to start like a whole agency where he's helping young athletes when they become pros or something. I think that's what he's doing now. But
that's the latest thing. Yes.
They, Chiefs are like, hey, you're gonna come on. You gotta put the shirt on. Oh. Because you're gonna go viral. Oh, okay, fine. All right, I saw them now. The Raiders, they went out and they have their unofficial roster. So let's do the defense first because not a lot of controversy on that side, but let's do the defense first. You're looking at this right here. Your starters as of right now penciled in, and hey. You might see them in the game. That's what Pete Carroll said. Everyone's live. Of course, you have on your front line. You got Malcolm Kuntz at one end, Adam Butler starting at tackle with Jonah Laulu at the other tackle, and then of course Max Crosby. Jermaine Pratt is your outside linebacker. Middle linebacker is Landon Roberts. And right now, Devin White has won the job to be the first team as of right now. The other outside linebacker, Darnay Holmes, is starting. They got three cornerbacks out there. Darnay Holmes, Darian Porter, the receiver turned cornerback in 1 year, his senior year in college playing cornerback. He's turning some heads out there in camp. And Eric Stokes, the guy that got from Green Bay this past offseason. Isaiah Palomao is your starting free safety, and Jeremy Chin, of course, is your strong safety. And then Tyree Wilson is backing up Max Crosby, Zach Carter, and Loki Fotu are your backup tackles, and Snowden is backing up Kuntz. And then Jamal Adams is Pratt's backup. Tommy Eichenberg is second team. Jalen Smith is also second team for White. Freaking Eichenberg. Greedy Vance. I like that name.
I've been hearing a lot of good things coming out of camp about Greedy Vance, and there's even a chance he could even beat out Darnay Holmes or Porter, or maybe not Porter because that's DeCamerion, but there's a chance that he might be able to sneak in there and take a starting job.
I mean, with a name like Greedy, I hope you're out there getting greedy and getting some interceptions, taking a spot away on the first team. DeCamerion Richardson, he's on that second team. Jacorian Bennett, they put the thing out. Now he's gone. I should have seen that when I put this together. My bad. This was all new. Chris Smith, the second team, and Thomas Harper. So bubble players. Let's go into these fourth guys. These 14 guys. Bubble players. Jafari Harvey, Keandre Coburn, Trayvon Mai, Andre Carter the second. Your D lineman, Michael Barrett, your middle linebacker, John Humphrey, and then Lonnie Johnson Jr., who of course right now is on IR as we speak. These guys right now, Lonnie Johnson, I wouldn't put that on him. He's injured. So, but I mean, of course, these are probably guys that you see a lot tomorrow night. But looking at these players, Asylum, who are out of these players on the defensive side are you really looking forward into seeing their performance in the first game where Pete Carroll comes back into Seattle tomorrow night?
Of anybody or just the bubble?
Of anybody.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd like to see Snowden and Kuntz got their shit back together and everything. Amari Gaynor had some, pluses last year. I'm kind of interested more in the DB, the backfield there with the DBs and everything, because we've heard great things about DeCamerion, Greedy, about Stokes. We know what we got with Palomao. Jeremy Chin, I've heard great things. Porter. So I'm kind of interested there to see how that's going to work out and see that those battles going on. And how who's working well together, because we all know in that in that backfield it's all about all four of those guys working together and being able to mesh and click and be there and cover this guy, know full well that okay, I'm letting this guy pass because I can trust the guy behind me to pick him up and everything. So to me, I think that's the biggest one there, is seeing those first, second, maybe even third string defensive backs and how well they're going to possibly work together there.
Yeah, I'm with you on seeing how the DBs work together, since we're really outside of Isaiah Palomao. All these guys are new. And yeah, the linebacker position is an interesting one.
And Sam Webb are carryovers as well.
Well, yeah, but I like on that starting defensive backs. And Darnay Holmes, I mean, I know he was there last year. He had injury issues too, and he's coming in, as a holdover from last year's squad. But Darian Porter, the rookie coming in, Eric Stokes, free agent signing from, like I said, Green Bay. Jeremy Chin was a high free agent coming in from Washington. I want to see how these guys play. They probably won't play a lot, being that they're the starters. They probably might come in for a series or whatever, how they're going to regulate a starter so they won't get injured, like Lonnie Johnson did in that open practice. But I would like to see how they work together. And then Tyree Wilson. Tyree Wilson, we're a big fan here on this show. Tyree Wilson, I want to see how he looks coming in on year 3. Year 2, if you really think about it, I know he played in the first year, but he was injured, and the whole plan that was supposed to happen with Chandler Jones, CT is not real. But I want to see how Tyree Wilson looks now in his 3rd year. It seems like they've been really working with him, trying to get him better, and then see also where they primarily put him. If he's going to be at end, even right here, he's going to be the defensive end. He's the backup to Max Crosby, but he also has that pass that bull rush. So I want to see where they primarily use him at, and how they, I guess, to his strengths, how they use his strengths to become a better player. So that's what I want to see, how they use him in certain situations in the game, in these 3 preseason games and going into the season. But
under Pete Carroll, you're starting to hear he's taking those necessary steps forward too. You know, so it's not just like it's just here, prove it. Here's year 3. What you know, the what's trickling out from training camp is he's taking those steps. Being under Pete Carroll and everything, those steps are, you know, he's going forward and move forward. Another interesting one there was the linebacker between Devin White and Smith, was it?
Devin White and Jalen Smith.
That one is also going to be another interesting one, because that's, you've been hearing kind of going back and forth between the two as well.
Yes. Yeah, and even Jamal Adams too, because Jamal Adams came in off the street in a way, I guess you can say. He was a late signee coming in, and his primary position in the league has been DB. But they said, no, we're going to put you at linebacker, bulk you up a little bit. Well, I think they said he came in a little bulked up, and put you at linebacker. And he was pushing guys, in the penciled in starting positions. Like not Jeremy Pratt. Jeremy Pratt was another guy that came in late after Cincinnati let him go. But, he was threatening guys like Devin White and Jalen Smith. So I want to also see Jamal Adams, how he performs out there. And both of us feel that he's primarily going to be used to as that cover linebacker, whether it's tight end or anybody going up the middle or running back, out on the route. So, interesting guys for us to really kind of look at and see how they perform, in this new Patrick Graham defense with Pete Carroll. So, but on the offensive side, yes, we didn't come up with it, but that Allegiant a boom. Oh yeah,
Allegiant a boom.
All right, Asylum. The offensive side, though, this is where it gets a little controversial, man. Looking at this depth chart, Dante Thornton has found himself in the starting lineup as wide receiver 2. But looking at the offensive line, this is where the real drama happens. Offensive line right here, you got right tackle DJ Glaze last year, just like last year. Right guard Jackson Powers Johnson is still battling with Alex Kappa at right guard, because Jordan Meredith seems to, as of right now, has won the center position, battle position.
The one thing I have read is he has taken that center's position.
Oh, submission. Now they're saying that.
That's what I have read, is he's taken that position. It is now his position.
Yeah. Meredith seemed to have beat JPJ in that. And now we got to see, real life situations in these preseason games, how it holds up. So, and in left guard, Dylan Parham still keeps his position at left guard. And of course, Colton Miller, which you heard in the beginning during the CMN news, he got that extension, a 3-year extension. So Colton Miller seems to be fully healthy compared to what he was last year. Seems to be fully healthy. So he will be anchoring that left tackle position. And Oakland Raider holdover. Oakland Raider, one of the Oakland Raider legacy players, legacy because he's still from then, the last 5, I believe, 6. But that battle right there, where it looks like Jackson Powers Johnson is not a lock to be on the offensive line in general. Asylum. Now, we talked about this a while back. It was on our April 9th episode.
Okay, right before the draft.
Right before the draft. And now we don't have the actual video, but the replay of that. But Asylum did predict a similar offensive line. We almost thought that was out of nowhere, but I mean, you see the unofficial: Cole Miller left tackle, Dylan Parham at left guard, Jordan Meredith at center, Jackson Powers Johnson at right guard, DJ Glaze at right tackle. But you have Asylum's pre-draft prediction: Cole Miller at left tackle, Jackson Powers Johnson at left guard, Dylan Parham at center. And this is before the draft now. Before the draft, Jordan Meriden at right guard and DJ Glaze at right tackle. Asylum, what was the crazy idea that you had in bringing JPJ out of center, which you all thought you were crazy, man? How are you going to pull him away when he stole the job from Andre James? Not stole it, but he took the job like Meredith might have taken the job from JPJ. What was your thinking, your philosophy behind your lineup with the guys that we had at that time before the draft? What was your thought process?
And maybe the thought process is there, with the current stuff. But again, I wanted to take that nastiness that he had, that viciousness, that thing that everyone says, born to be a Raider. He was always born to be a Raider. Take that nastiness and solidify that left side. First of all, that was, the quarterback's blind side for a right-handed quarterback. Not to mention is, as when I brought it up, I was seeing with a healthy, and I did say a healthy Colton Miller, which seems like I'm right there. He's healthy. He's got his contract extension. And at JPJ, it could be bringing back shades of Highway 63. And going to that left side. Now, maybe this new coaching staff, not to mention is when he got brought in, when he got drafted, they didn't say center. He got drafted as a guard.
Yes.
He likes to play center.
He was guard center, but yeah, he was primarily was going to be used as a guard. Yes.
Yeah. So he was brought in as a guard. And then again, maybe the coaching staff is putting him on the right side instead of the left side because maybe Parham's better at the left side. Or they want to run more to the right instead of the left because of, who we have, in the backfield with Geno Smith, as well as Geno taking off to run. It's easier for him to run to the right than it is to the left and everything. So, I'm a little off on mine. I was right with the fact of Parham taking one of the guard positions. I wasn't right about that. Parham keeping a guard position, but that they're putting Powers in a guard position. We'll see how Meredith does. I did like Parham as a center. I felt like that was better for him, because we both said he was a better center than he was a guard.
Yeah, and in that episode we did back then, we were talking about JPJ coming in, and we were like, well, is that more so when JPJ? Well, actually, it was first Parham being the better center before JPJ came in. Is that say more about Parham, or does that say more about Andre James? And then Andre James got that 3-year extension. Or actually, no, he got that 3-year contract because I think he was a free agent. Got that 3-year contract. And then once he went down, JPJ moved over from right guard to center. And for the most part, never really let it go until he got hurt for a little bit. And then Andre James came in and took it over until he got hurt again, the back and forth. But we all thought that, okay, JPJ, he's got this down. You don't have to pencil him in. You can permanent marker, just big old C, JPJ. Even during the media, during the Raiders media thing they had when they were taking pictures and everything, they interviewed him. And he said, oh, yeah, I'm back home again at center. I can't wait for next year or for this coming year. Da-da-da-da-da. I can only focus. I can just focus on playing center. Da-da-da-da-da. But from what they're saying is that Meredith has better command and better communication and understanding when the defensive line comes up their front. So he's the one, the center used, and I think we even talked about this last year, how the center is supposed to be the one that calls the blocking assignment. You go up there and you remember the center goes down and you see him doing this. You see him doing this when he gets the ball. You see him doing this. And we didn't really see too much of that. And JPJ was doing that later on in the year. But apparently Meredith, who we all didn't see this coming, you got Chip Kelly. You have from last year's defensive coaching staff, offensive line coach from last year's staff coming over, staying over. You know what I'm talking about? Phelps.
Oh, yeah,
Philbin. Wow, Phelps. Yeah, Philbin.
Hey,
Philbin coming over. Philbin coming over. I mean, he might have known some things. That's probably why they kept him. About this offensive line. You didn't see no real change except of Kappa coming in. Outside the draft, Kappa coming in on from the free agency period. But moving Meredith inside to center was part of an experiment, but seeing how Meredith had command, knowing, to command the blocking assignment for whatever fronts in front of him, being able to Savage in the prison cell. No, I'm actually in Seattle. Is that the same thing? Could be. I don't know. But I will be at the game tomorrow. So we're switching roles, Asylum. I'm in prison. You're not. You got the padded room. But yeah, these are the bars. No, no, I'm actually in Seattle.
But it's funny you bring that up because the one thing I have been reading is in this new setup with Chip Kelly and everything, it's not the center who is calling out the assignments. They've been having the guard do it. And now guess who's playing that right guard position? A former center or somebody who knows center. Now calling out those positions because they're not having Meredith call out the blocking assignments. They've been having the guard do it.
Yeah. Because I think Kappa was the one that was calling the blocking scheme for the offensive line. Yes. So, and that's probably where JPJ, he can block well. He has awareness when the play is going. He has awareness to block this guy and go to the next level. He's aggressive. He's not afraid to jump in the middle. I mean, he was close to getting flags. He had a couple flags for a little excessive. You're blocking too hard. What do you mean? What are you talking about? But Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly, they want, and this is I'm not trying to say anything negative about JPJ, and I'm not questioning his intelligence, but it's like if Meredith is quick enough to call the blocking scheme for what he sees in front of him, the defense line up front, and then maybe even the linebackers that are even showing blitz or whatever, knowing to call the right calls, just like a quarterback, knowing to call the right audibles, whatever front he sees, whatever coverage he sees. If Meredith can be that guy, and then also can be that blocker afterwards. They say he's a smaller guy. So him being overpowered is less of a chance because you don't really see too much of a center going head on. They got nose guards, but they always get help with the guard coming in. But he's not going to really see too much man on bull rushing at center. So if JPJ is that stronger guy that can handle that, and then also he's athletic enough to pull and do what he got to do, because I said that last week that maybe it's more so if JPJ is playing guard, it could also be that, hey, and you even said this also, Asylum, that when you came up with your offensive line here, that JPJ is probably the more athletic one that's not afraid to go around the corner of the offensive line down the field and hit some dudes down, be that lead blocker. I mean, it all probably depends on the team.
We saw it when he was playing left guard last year. We were seeing it with him at center. So as much as, he wants it and everything going, and everybody's I kind of feel everybody's had tunnel vision when it comes to JPJ.
Yeah.
Right? Even, I forget who the damn defensive player was, turned around and said in his interview that he was going to be a Pro Bowl guard here in the future. Right? And
for the Raiders,
and going, everything's going in this. It seems like he's a natural guard who just plays center well.
Yeah.
And the coaching staff is obviously seeing it. They're trying this out. Again, this is only for the first week. Next week could be completely different.
Yeah. Because now you're going against somebody else's, people in different uniforms tomorrow night. So we'll see how that works and everything. And they're not gonna start throwing out some exotic, blitzes and defensive coverages. It's probably a lot of bland, a lot of generic. They don't want to go and show their cards that early to anybody watching the Seahawks. But we'll see what happens there. It reminds me, I'm about to use a Simpsons reference. It reminds me of an episode of The Simpsons when Springfield had a chance to be the filming location of Radioactive Man, the movie. And Bart Simpson wanted to be Fallout Boy. He wanted to be the sidekick for Radioactive Man. And he went to the audition and they were all like, "You're perfect. You're the perfect Fallout Boy. If only you were an inch taller." He said, "What?" Millhouse comes in. He's not even trying to audition. He's just there. They gave Millhouse because he was the right height. He was just the right kid they needed to play Fallout Boy. Yes. And Bart was trying to be supportive, but he was a little jealous because, like, wait a minute, I know Radioactive Man. How dare you? I mean, and they're best friends, Millhouse and Bart Simpson. But I feel like it's that same type of thing, where JPJ, I'm going to be the center. I want to stand in the same conversation with the Jim Otto, with the Dave Dubby, with the Don Mosbar, with the Barrett Robbins. I want to be part of that. Because the Raiders had centers on centers on centers on centers. Those outside of Jim Otto's a Hall of Famer, but Don Mosbar had a short career, but Dave Dubby, he has all 3 Super Bowl rings with the Raiders. He started all 3 Super Bowl victories, 11, 15, and 18. I mean, he can have a case for Hall of Fame, but either or, whatever. But he wanted to be that guy, and now he's moved over to guard. But I think the interesting thing is that he is fighting. He's not solidified yet, but he's fighting with Alex Kappa. Now I know Alex Kappa got beat a lot by Max Crosby, but it's just interesting, Asylum, that's still a battle going on that hasn't been settled yet. With JPJ.
I think my opinion is, obviously we can't go just because it's on there like it is, but I feel JPJ has the edge over Kappa right now. Kappa came in, we never knew, with everything going on. He has the edge right now, which he could still lose it. We don't know. They might turn around and like Kappa so much and want JPJ on the left side, and then now Parham is, the odd man out. It just feels like JPJ is going to be starting at one of the guard positions. It's kind of funny that he played left guard last year. Now they got him going for right guard, and it just feels like there's a plan there for some reason, a plan in there, not for some reason, but that we aren't seeing yet. Whether they want to run to that right side, whether it's easier for Geno Smith to run to his right than it is his left, right? Because it helps keep the ball away. I mean, in some of the highlights you've been seeing, Geno's been running to his right. I haven't seen him run to his left yet in any of the highlights.
Yeah.
Of training camp and everything. So with his blocking ability, like you said, being able to get out there and be a lead blocker for a running back or even Geno or something, there might be a reason why it's there for the right. And Kappa is trying to do everything he can to have a job. Maybe Kappa's just going to be their rotational piece. I don't see JPJ quite yet. We'll see. Obviously, I'm sure both of them are going to get a chance in that position tomorrow.
Well, here's what Pete Carroll, they asked him yesterday about it. Here's what Pete Carroll said about the battle, or I guess the situation with JPJ and Meredith. Here we go.
Talked about the competition on the offensive line before, but how have you been pleased with what you've seen from Meredith and JPJ?
We look physical with those guys out there, and they've given us a nice flash, but we're just getting started. It's a long ways for both those guys. JPJ's been a center most of his time, and Jordan's been a guard most of his time. So, what are we thinking? You could ask. But we think we see something in this combination, and we're going to give it a look.
So, it's like,
made the trade yesterday.
Oops, wrong button.
Wrong
button.
We like our group.
Get off the screen. Okay. Yeah, so and you sit right there like, what are we doing? You're like, why are you messing with the formula? Well, we're testing things out. It's preseason, and Pete Carroll is somebody that's not afraid to, let's mix things up, see how it goes. Chip Kelly has been running offenses forever. Let's see how things go. I think I might see something where I can tweak it this way. And then now we got the formula because we kept the same offensive lineman for the most part, outside of Andre James, who seems to be struggling over there in San Diego. Sorry, Los Angeles Chargers. Los Angeles Chargers. So they see something, and like you said, Philbin, they see something. Let's try it out and see. And if anything, we can always still throw in. We can switch them back. Put JPJ at center, and then put Meredith back at guard because Meredith showed last year, and me and you were like, no, Meredith has to stay. I know the offensive line wasn't that great, but that could be more so the coordinators or the offensive coordinator and the coaches on that offensive side that were let go midway through the season than the players themselves.
And again, this is kind of shades of Al Davis, right? Al Davis loves to fucking put people in different positions.
Oh, yeah.
You had a lot of people. You had linemen turned into tight ends. You had, corners turned into wide receivers turned into corners. So, it's just one of those things of when's the best time to try this shit? Right now.
Yeah.
Like,
let's see how it works.
Yeah, they can go back to that natural position for them, but this is the time to see. Who's to say that this does not become one of the best offensive lines we've had in a long time?
Yeah.
I was thought crazy because I took JPJ out of the center position. Yet it's funny that this coaching staff, this offensive line coach, Philbin, Carroll, everybody who's involved in this is taking the same stance. He started all the OTAs at center, and then they decided, hey, let's see what Meredith could do. We know Parham can play center. We know JPJ can play center. Well, let's see what Meredith does at center. And again, it might just be that little thing, that little change, because somebody played the same position so much that the little mistakes that they make, like you were talking about the bull rush. Meredith might not handle the bull rush well, but JPJ being, that mean streak in him and shit, he gets beat by a bull rush. What's he going to do? He's going to go clobber that motherfucker the next play. You ain't doing that to the flag.
Looking for a flag.
I'll take it. I hit him in the ear. He can't hear right. Let's just go ahead and continue. We got this now.
Is it a Deacon Jones him?
Well, it's just one of those.
I was gonna say, as a former offensive lineman, there are things we had to do that were illegal for us to get the job done. Face masking, the Deacon Jones smack across the helmet in the ear hole. Get that ear hole rung. Even some guys on the offensive line when I played back in high school, maybe because we were in a ghetto high school, it doesn't matter. But you grab the guy by the shoulder pads and then couple shots to the gut, just to kind of, and then you block them. You have to do things. That's how the trenches. The trenches ain't nothing to play with. You got to have mean guys in there, even on the offensive side. You got to do what you got to do. We'll take care of the flag. Yeah. But Asylum, there's another interesting battle here. And I do have a Pete Carroll clip of that too, of what he says. But if you look at this also, look who's climbing the charts, Asylum. Right here at running back. Where is it at? Right here, running back. Zamir White. Zamir White is pushing Raheem Mostert. Now, I had said, last year we loved Zamir White coming in after what he did in 2023 and in 2023, basically covering, carrying the ball for Josh Jacobs, who was out with injury. We thought him coming in last year, he was gonna, just pound the ball and he was unstoppable. Well, that didn't happen. That didn't work. And he ended up on the IR also. And the term that Hondo Carpenter came up with, he got Getseed. He got Getseed, but him pushing Raheem Mostert, Asylum. You said, no, I think Zamir's going to stay. You said that last year. Raheem's going to stay. Zamir's going to stay. Mm-hmm. Him pushing right there, what does that say right there, Asylum?
Well, I mean, there's two things there. I remember when you asked me, I believe it was last week's show, when we were trying to put together battles, right? Camp battles. And I said those two right there.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of gave me, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I think, that's going to be. And they said last year, Zamir came in bigger. He bulked up.
Yes.
And then this year, he lost the bulk, but was more what's the word I'm looking for?
Leaner, quicker.
Well, leaner. He was more, more cut, more,
Yeah, more leaner. Yeah,
weight. You have all that extra.
Yeah,
which slowed him down. He's faster. I guess leaner is the right word. Being leaner and going. And now, is it shades of Zeus from that 2023? Does he take that second spot and is there to spell? I mean, I loved him. I said he was going to stay. I said he needed to stay. That I did like Zamir from 2023. And I thought he was still had a chance to be that player again. He just, I think, bulked up, slowed himself down, and that's what kind of led to his injuries because he couldn't do what he did in 2023.
Yeah.
Because of his size. Sometimes bulking up is not always the answer.
Yeah. And that probably also could have led to his injury. You're bulking up, you're heavier, even though it's muscle. You're heavier.
Remember that.
Yeah. And you're trying to play a position where you have to make these moves. You have to be elusive. And to be bulked up, like you're not going to be able to make those moves, and that's probably could have led to his injury. Here's what Pete Carroll had to say when they asked him about Zamir White's emergence in camp.
That's a good word, Alicia. Agile.
Zamir's had a nice camp. This camp, it looks like it's reflected in whatever the depth chart at this point. What has he shown you?
He really has sent a message that he's the hammer, and I love having different styles of running backs. His physicality that we've been celebrating with him and telling him we like the way he runs. Don't try to be something that you're not, and run heavy and run thick and tough like he does. I think he gives us a real element. So I'm really excited about what he's done so far.
Pete Carroll prototype running back, Asylum?
No, I mean, Ashton Genty's the Pete Carroll prototype right there. Now, here's the question. Chip Kelly prototype running back.
Yes.
We know that Carroll likes those big bruiser, pounded until they can't take it anymore, what was that quote from Beast Mode?
Get got.
Huh?
Oh, sorry. That was like the get got. You're going to get caught, but.
No, that interview where, over and over and over and over and over,
Yeah. And then over and over and over and over.
That's Ashton Genty. But to me, Zamir White might be fitting into that. And Carroll said he likes having different styles because that's hard to cover for. It's hard to change. I mean, you could be prepared for a bruiser and load the box and force that. But then when you got somebody who's maybe a little, I'll use at least his term here, agile, who could skip and go, and now you can't load the box because you got to keep it back. Because if he breaks out, you got to have somebody back there to cover those 5 yards before the DBs could get there. So, he might be a little bit more Chip Kelly, who likes to, do all those different kinds of plays to get him out there, chip blocking, get the guy in open field. Zamir White could catch the ball out of the backfield. He's proven that. So, and then he's got burst speed where Genty, we really don't know what he's got. He might still have some burst, but maybe not the burst like Zamir. You get Zamir in the open, he could turn a 10-yard run into a 50-yard run or even a touchdown real quick.
Yeah.
And that change. So I think he may be more of that prototypical Chip Kelly running back, not Pete Carroll prototypical running back.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I guess sometimes we forget is that, Pete Carroll's the head coach, but Chip Kelly is the head coach of the offense. He is the guy like, well, hey, the way I want to run these plays or whatever, hey, I got a package for Zamir. And trust me, when I put him out there in the way that we line up, and if we even get the right defensive formation or whatever that front, that defensive front, Zamir is going to go off. And with him,
Chip Kelly, again, with JPJ at that right guard position, does that help a Zamir White style of running? Right? I mean, to help be able to get him out there because that guy is blocked. He's going to hit that outside a little quicker than, let's say, an Ashton Genty, who's going to most likely bounce off of his guys. Ashton Genty's that running back that is hard to bring down, has a great center of gravity that he bounces off of tacklers, and that's what makes him hard to come down. But yet you get somebody who can get out and be that lead blocker, right? He pulls out past the tackle, and now you got Zamir White behind him, takes that block, and now he's gone, and that opened that up for another 6 yards, right? And by the time he hits that blocker, there was 4 yards. That's a first down right there.
Yeah. I mean, we use this term a lot over here. You want to have options. So I mean, hey, and that's another battle that I would like to see on the offensive side. I saw them. I know we didn't ask this question yet, but on the offensive side, who are you looking at on the offensive side when it comes to tomorrow night's game and the other two preseason games that the Raiders have this coming preseason? What are the battles, or what are the players? Not the battles. What are the players that you're looking at on the offensive side that you want to see how they look? Are they more than what is advertised, or what, like the rookies coming in, like who are the guys that you're looking at when you're watching these preseason games, these next 3 coming up?
Okay, well, for me, I know they don't have it in the order here, but I think it's kind of interchangeable for your 1, 2, 3s and et cetera for the wide receivers. It's the Deontay Thornton and the Jack Bech battle right there.
That's a good one.
There's a battle somewhere in there. Jack Bech, they said the minute the pads came on, he became a different player.
Yeah. But not to cut you off, but there was also an interesting video where Tom Brady pulled aside Dante Thornton, was talking to him like, I'm proud of you. So all eyes are on Thornton. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, they are. And Thornton being, 6'5", what he is and everything, he's just, it's been since OTAs. Thornton's name has been in the news, and all for the right reasons.
Yeah.
You know, Besh may have come, been a second round pick, and he's going to stay on the team. And,
of course.
And who's to say either one of those guys don't beat out Trey Tucker? I think Jacoby's he's the number one, but who's to say one of those two don't happen to beat out Trey Tucker? Because they talk about Thornton and his speed.
Yeah.
So you still have a speedster there. We got two speedsters starting by the looks of it. And if Thornton beats Tucker out, Besh jumps in there in that third spot. You never know there. I'm interested also in the to me, I believe you put it on our thing. It's three-way, but I'm going to add 4. The Zamir White, I want to see what's going on. Mostert, see if he's got his steps back. The Sincere McCormick, and there at the very end, the Dylan Labe. Is he really on the bubble? Right? I mean, there was people like Raider Bear and other people who were singing his praise last year. And unfortunately, the one preseason game, and then the one one play he had during a regular game, he fumbled on both those plays.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
There's possibility there. So be interested to see is Sincere McCormick, which I know everybody has above Zamir White, and I've been saying since the get-go, Sincere McCormick did the exact same thing Zamir did. So why can't Zamir get that chance? And it looks like he's getting it, and he's running with it. He's not, taking it for granted, and he knows his job might be on the line. So, he leaned out. He did what needed to be done. And just, I'm going to throw this one out there for the shits and giggles because we are a fan of him and the Team Ramrod. I'd like to see, I know during that scrimmage, that mock game, you kept hearing O'Connell was not doing good. I heard everything leading up to that. O'Connell was, lighting it up and going. I like to see if O'Connell, because he's probably going to get a lot of playing time. Geno will probably get some, but O'Connell and Miller will get, a majority of it. I like to see if he can possibly put a little bit of pressure on Geno Smith.
Yeah. And Cam Miller, the 6th rounder that they got, that third string quarterback, they're saying that he's looking good, but he's a rookie, which means, he's showing flashes, but he's still a developmental piece.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, of course, the offensive line, I mean, that's a very interesting battle right there, especially when it's between Kappa, who came in and had the bad grade coming from Cincinnati, the bad blocking grade, and then JPJ, who we all thought, like we said just recently, just earlier today, that he was supposed to be the permanent center. He is now fighting for a starting position at one of the guard positions, more so the right guard position with Kappa, but the running back position to see, Sincere McCormick with Zamir White, how they're going to fare, because Sincere McCormick had the injury issues and he came back strong last year when he finally got off the practice squad, got elevated to the 53-man roster.
And they got
show flashes, and then he got his ankle, like that guy, he came down in the knee of the opposing, I want to say it was a defensive player. His knee came down right at his ankle and bent it the wrong way, where he was out for the rest of that season. He was showing flashes that he could be that guy. Then he was injured. So I would like to see how that battle goes. But I think, like you said when you started off, the receiving position, because that's going to be a very interesting one. Who's going to line up alongside opposite of Jacoby Myers? Who's going to be that guy? And yeah, right now it's going to be Trey Tucker because he's the incumbent coming in. Trey Tucker probably never had an offensive coordinator that knew how to use him and his speed. Yeah, he's a smaller guy, but we never really had offensive coordinators that knew how to use the speedy receivers. Like, that is what, they always say you can't coach speed. So that's an attribute that this player comes with him.
And again, with Thornton, right? I didn't mean to cut you off there, but with Thornton and Tucker, if both of them on the field at the same time, that's a double threat for a deep ball.
Yeah.
And that's, and then you got to have, a secondary that can cover both those guys.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's there. And if they play it right, and let's say go deep early, just to say, hey, we're not afraid to do it, that opens up the field for those Jacoby Myers who fucking, had no drops, lit it up and gone. And then again, Thornton, who has been, apparently good even on, on the shorter fields, and then the Bess, who is supposed to be a monster to take down, who we were talking about, Genty bouncing off of players. Well, Bess apparently as a wide receiver is similar. He's hard to tackle.
Big body receiver. No, but that's what I'm saying.
That
double downing.
Is being forgotten.
Double down on that receiver position battle. That's what I want to see. And I want to see Devontae. That's later on. I want to see Dante Thornton. I want to see him like live. Like I want to see him how he looks flying down the field and making these catches. I've seen the highlights now. I want to see it in person, which I will see tomorrow night. So that's the main battle outside of the JPJ Alex Kappa battle. The whole offense, the middle offensive line, the interior of the offensive line battle. That's the main one I want to see. But the receiving position, the number 2 and the number 3, who's going to be that guy opposite Jacoby Myers? Before we go to the next part of the episode, next part of the show, Anna is listening, just busy around the house. That made me think of what we're trying to do here on the show. We're trying to expand our content to not only just the visual you see here on YouTube, but also the audio. And we're thinking of we're going to call this the Vincent Kellen Project. Okay. He's the one that put the idea out there, right?
Hey, he's the one who brought it up. Yep.
Yes. And then when we saw that comment, we're like, you know what? That's a good idea. So we were thinking of doing some audio stuff. So if you like this content, let us know, because we're gonna try to expand and expand the cage match out there. For if you are busy and you could only, my sister says, do it. If you can only just listen, because I know some people, a lot of folks don't have. Wrong one. A lot of folks don't have YouTube a premium to just turn off the phone and listen. Because when you turn off the phone or whatever, the sound goes off. So, hey, we're trying to do some big things this season. Okay, just putting it out there. All right. So,
putting it out there as a straight podcast on some of those other
platforms out there,
Spotify and and
Apple,
stuff like that. Yeah, Apple.
So, if you like what you hear here, if you like what you hear here,
let us know.
So that was just a little quick extra, little shameless plug right there. All right, Simon, let's change gears. But I'm gonna let you pick. Should we go for the positive first, or should we go for the negative first when it comes up to our next outside of tomorrow night's game? Should we do Raider Hater first, or should we do the other thing that we were? No,
let's do Raider Hater first. Let's end the way you wanted to end it when you originally brought that up. I like that.
Okay, now look, and I see. This StreamYard is irritating me. My girlfriend had the video she sent me of AP wearing the Chief jersey, and I've been trying this for the longest. I had it ready, and I've been trying to upload it, and StreamYard. We're gonna do some different things after, because StreamYard is just really irritating me, so I can't play it. But the way I was gonna set it up was, training camp has been crazy, and one video. This is a little funny video I saw them real quick. Comment on this right here. I believe this is Caleb Williams. I feel like this is like when with my stepson here. When we go to a carnival and we pay like $20 for like 3 balls to throw out the target at the carnival, and it just like we just wasted $20. Here's this video right here. Training camp Caleb Williams right here. Look at him. Miss, and then just walks off. When you see that,
I mean, I remember when was he drafted? This is his second year. He was a rookie last year, right?
Yes.
If not, whatever. Yes. Everybody wanted us to trade up for Caleb Williams. Is that what you want? I mean, I get not making the throws, but to fucking run off like that, you know, that's rage quitting right there. Fuck this, I quit.
We don't play anymore.
and then the sad part is ain't nobody even going over there saying, man, it's okay, shit happens. You know, this is just the beginning of training camp, man. They all left his ass alone and shit. They're like, man, fuck this guy. I need, you know, I need my job and shit. I mean, that last throw he gave up on, he didn't even fucking get to the bottom. He just kind of, I mean,
one more time.
I can see your stepson right there. One throw, no. Next throw. I fucking don't like this game. I'm going home. I don't think his mission is taking the ball with him.
And I would tell him, I'm all like, hey, slow down, okay? Just slow down, relax, and throw the ball. And he'll just
look, he's not even stepping into the throw. That's a fundamental of throwing. He's just turning his hips.
I gotta coach her up. But that was the funny part. Now look, okay. And this is what I was trying to say, you know, when it comes to AP now Ed in the comments had said he's seen that video of AP in a Chiefs shirt. I mean, a Chiefs sweater, and a stupid streamer is not letting me upload it. I think it's Roger Goodell. But I was gonna say you have two Asylum. You have two types of exes. Okay, you have the one that tries to make you mad and jealous, and then you have the one that just stays bitter. Never just let it go. And we only react because of the stuff that you say. Asylum, let's get into that real quick right here. Here is another episode, another installment of Raider Hater. You want to press it to me? Can you hear me? I'll do it. Here, Raider Hater. Here we go.
Why you wanna play hate on me?
All right, now here we go, Asylum. You sent me this earlier today, and I said, okay, we got to put this on real quick right here. Davante Adams just can't keep the Raiders' name out his mouth as if he misses the Raiders in his mouth, if you know what I'm trying to get at there, okay?
He misses a certain something in his mouth, I can tell you that much.
Now, we're not here to hate on Davante. We're just here to respond to the victimization he tries to put out there, that he was the one that, well, it wasn't fair for me when I came over and it's, you know, whatever. Here is him on Pivot on YouTube. Here is, and this is right in the beginning of the episode. This came out a few days ago. This is right in the beginning of the episode. They went straight for the jugular, talking about the Raiders and Davante's situation. Here we go.
In about three of my questions, you said all I've been going through, because I had Vegas to New York to this. What you been going through?
At the end of the day, I speak because people take the way I speak on my situation. Again, I say my situation because it's my own experience, which I would think that I'm at liberty to speak on freely, but that's not always the case, which I understand. Like, I get the Raiders fans, you know, feeling some type of way. You know, the Jets, I feel like it hasn't been as much sourness from them. Obviously, it was a lot shorter stint out there and went to go try it with Aaron, but just having not had the success that I became accustomed to in Green Bay, winning games, that type of feeling that comes with winning games, I didn't really have that for the last few years, and that starts to mess with your mental. And, you know, when you've been in this game for a long time, like I have, I mean, I'm going on year 12, the money isn't what motivates me to play this game. You know, it's not all the things that you may have thought mattered to you. You know, money definitely matters in general, but in terms of continuing a 10-plus year career, I mean, I could call it right now if it was just about bread. We good on that. Mm-hmm. I'm in search of trying to win a Super Bowl, which obviously there's a lot of things that need to happen for that to happen. And that's never a guarantee.
There is dudes in this league, when you mention their name, or even when you're in the rooms in the media world that I work in, the word solid always comes up. Solid, great leader, good dude. That's what happens with you when people just talk about you away from the field. Your character was in question when the Raiders news broke about the trade and all those things. How difficult was it to have people speaking on you personally that didn't understand what was going on with you in Las Vegas?
Yeah, well, I mean, I see that still right now. And it hurts because as a person that's a good guy at heart, you want people to think and feel good things about you at all times, especially when that's who you are, to your core. So it would be a shame if people walk around thinking that I'm some diva or, looking for attention or whatever it is that they think that's not accurate. So it does bother me to a certain extent, but I got to this point in my life by not caring truly what people think about me and not letting that, have any bearing on how I move forward. So again, I'll love if you think good things, but if you can't take a deep enough dive and be realistic enough with even the small amounts of evidence you have about my situation, if you can't take that and make sense of it, why I feel the way I do, or I made the decisions I made, or, certain calls were made, then that's not the opinion that I care about anyway. Like at the end of the day, like, if I'm making really bad decisions out there and you got people out here talking bad about me, well then, they justify feeling these ways. So, at the end of the day, I'm not going to walk around, with my arms crossed, pissed off at them because I'm making those decisions. At the end of the day, all I've done is try to find happiness and try to find a way to win and enjoy this game that, I grew up loving and has presented me with so much. So I've been trying to just compliment the game the way it's complimented me. Unfortunately, in order to do so, I've had to detach from certain organizations, and it may have even happened a little nastier than what I would have liked. It was never intended to be anything, malicious or negative. It was always supposed to be a smooth transition, which is why I think that the Raiders one irritates me the most, because that wasn't because of me at all. Having conversations with you, obviously, I can have those conversations, and off camera, I can, really get into the nitty gritty. But doing that on camera just presents a whole other issue.
Okay, fuck this bullshit. I'm getting right into this. All right, oh my God! Ever since Derek Carr's cock was taken out of his fucking mouth, he had nothing but issues with the damn team. Okay. The minute his pacifier was popped out and sent over to the Saints, all of a sudden my hammy don't fucking work. I need to get out of here because they're fucking death ball. Oh, by the way, I'm playing with him now, and he's a great guy. We got over that. It was just a situation.
It wasn't a situation. It was a dark time. Dark time.
Yeah, okay, there you go. A dark time. Then he goes to the Jets and gets lit the fuck up. That's okay. I mean, they tried doing that reverse. They tried doing that reverse, and he got lit up harder than he ever did on the fucking Raiders. And then it was, I gave the okay to bench Jimmy G and put in Aiden O'Connell because fucking get the cocks out of your mouth. Right now, Stafford's must be whatever. Jesus Christ. I wanted a smooth transition. So, yeah, my hammy hurts. I can't play. All of a sudden, you get traded, and the fucking miraculously, Aaron Rodgers' magical cock fucking gets back in his mouth, and all of a sudden, it works fucking again. I can go out and fucking play. Fuck this bullshit. Fuck his punk ass. I mean, this is just straight. He needs to stop talking about the Raiders and going, because you know what? His feelings got fucking hurt when Derek Carr got cut, left, and that was fucking not even AP. That was straight Josh McFucking Daniels and their bullshit. And his feelings have been hurt ever since. His butt buddy from fucking prison has not written him a letter since he got transferred to fucking Pelican Bay or whatever the fuck it is. And his feelings are hurt, and he's taking the shit out on the fucking Raiders.
Let me take this. Let me pretend like I'm a relationship counselor. Let me be Dr. Phil, okay? Okay. Let me be Dr. Phil. Devontae, no, you say that the Raiders are the ones that are they're the ones that were the that made you the victim. You were the one that was just trying to win, and we're out there doing your best to do what you got to do to make this team win, and you just couldn't take it anymore. Well, it's like trying to say that you're a left foot inside of a right shoe. It just didn't fit for you in Las Vegas. Now, what I see is that, and what all of Raider Nation saw was that you quit on the team to make it seem like you were injured so they could find a way to send you out to where you wanted to go. Now, you probably did the same thing you did with Green Bay because you wanted to go and play with Derek Carr, like Asylum said right here, but it didn't work out. McDaniels blew that whole thing up in one season. And now you have to
first. Hurry up, Dr. Phil. I got something to add to that.
Now you have to go and play with Jimmy G, which now all of a sudden is your best friend right now. Could be starting week 1 when it comes to Matthew Stafford's ribs or back or whatever the issue he has. But remember, okay, Devontae, you were also the one that when they did the receivers game, the receiver show there, having that Bill Cosby, you'll see it here. You want to go and do it. You want to go and do the receiver show. And to our knowledge is that you also are the one that when they play you the footage, you are the final say in what gets aired on Netflix's documentary series Receiver. You wanted the Raiders to know that you were unhappy, talking about you're going to get killed staying here, talking about that it's getting this we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. You wanted, which also Raider Nation heard that. Phil Cosby. Zip, zop, zippity bop. Listen here. Okay, the Jello pudding pop was just not your flavor. Now look, okay. The only person that you can the only person that you can put this blame on is yourself. And if you want to blame somebody else, blame the man in the mirror. Okay? Listen to some Michael Jackson. He'll tell you it's the man in the mirror. Go over there and you point at him and say, he's the reason why I have this. I have this persona now that I'm the diva, and all we saw you do was have Taco Bell in your household. All right? So look at yourself, say it's me. I am the one, just like Taylor Swift had said, I am the one, it's me. I am the one, and be your own anti-hero. Stop blaming the Raiders for the way your career went because you decided to come to the Raiders. Then you decided to go to the Jets. The Jets were just a rebound for you to go to the Rams. And we're going to see how much ramming you're going to love over there until you decide to get traded again. So, Asylum, I'm going to give the floor back to you because that's all right. That's all I take on it. Just let it, if you don't, I don't want to talk about it no more.
Great there, Phil Cosby.
Phil Cosby.
Phil Cosby. That was great. I'm going to go. Let's go back to what started all this shit, right? Remember back when he was on the winning team and all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers was not going to be playing there anymore.
Yeah.
He turned around and did what he had to do, held out, did this shit. Pokemon. He's trying to catch them all. Fuck. He's trying to catch them all right now. Anyways, and then fucking
you like to play.
you know this shit to come to the Raiders. And then when he came to the Raiders, what was the one thing he said? I don't regret my decision.
Yeah.
Because when I make a decision, I live with it and live with the consequences. This motherfucker signed a contract. Okay, with the Raiders. Then his buddy pirate partner got traded. Okay, and I love Derek Carr. I say that all in whatever.
No,
but,
he didn't get traded. He got released. He got released.
He got released. And I'm just saying this because, apparently he likes that car cock. So, anyways, he gets traded, and all of a sudden, I got the one injury you can't test for. My vagina hurts. I got pounded too hard, and it's not going to go right. Please, there's only one team I'll get traded to, though. You can only trade me back to Aaron Rodgers, and that worked out so fucking well that he followed Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers. Oh, no, wait. He did not follow Aaron Rodgers. He don't want to talk shit about the Jets because he can't talk shit about Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers is like the fucking GOAT. He's the man. Without Aaron Rodgers, I'm a fucking nobody. So I'm going to go play with Matthew Stafford. Oh, wait, God damn it, he got hurt. And who do I got again? Jimmy G. String Garoppolo, who lost his permanent pass at the damn Bunny Ranch because the only thing he did good once was slide.
Against the Broncos.
But I'm better over here. We had dark times over there, and I'm going to have to talk shit about the decision that I don't regret because I don't regret any decision I've ever fucking, man, fuck that bullshit. Put the pacifier back in your fucking mouth and go fucking hurt your hammy again the minute this shit doesn't work out. I give it 5 games before he has another hamstring injury.
See, the thing is, don't go and be like, well, the Raiders and the Raider fans and the Raider Nation, it's just all you gotta say. If you don't want it, and then he ends with, I don't want to talk about it, then start off with, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. I made a business decision. That I felt was right for myself, and that's what I did. That's all you have to say. You don't have to come on. You see him having to explain himself over and over and over again that it's not my fault. I'm the victim here, man. I'm the victim. Well, look, okay, I'm gonna do Phil Cosby again. Listen here, young man. All right, you gotta understand that if you're a Jello pudding pop, you gotta be the right flavor and not have the Jello pudding that I. No, I'm going negative Cosby. Can be positive Cosby, okay? Yeah. Theo Rudy. No. So Devontae.
Week 5 is gonna be another hamstring injury. Then him and Kay Adams are gonna make a fucking 2 girls in a cup video because that's all he'll have left after this fucking situation.
For all of you that don't know 2 Girls in a Cup, it's an old school video that was passed around during the LimeWire years, where 2 women indulged in a cup of excrement. I don't know big words, Kay. I went to a public school, Kay. It looked like a Sunday, but it was not a Sunday. Okay. It was not a Sunday. So there you go. The poison from I can't take No. But see, Devontae just needs to understand that if you don't want, like, don't come up with the whole 5-minute reason why you didn't work out with the Raiders, and the Raiders are the ones that they make me feel like I'm like they put it on me. Like it's hey. We saw what happened. I had a bad hamstring. When the ball is finally thrown to me, I can't catch the ball. You know who didn't drop a ball? Jacoby Myers, the quiet leader on the other side. You, the diva, or how they said on the radio. I heard this on many times on the radio. The Devontae. I'm a big Raider fan. I got to go and get to play with Derek Carr, who I, in college, and like it's you. Just say, hey, I made a bad decision. It is what it is. I've moved on. All you got to say. You literally said it. Jacoby Myers did it with the same fucking quarterbacks. And with quarterbacks. Like you said with the S, with a hard S. Quarterbacks. And was successful. And that bullshit coming off the field, you guys got the win. It may not be the way. I'm not used to winning this way. A win is a win. I don't give a fuck how it happens. What is Al Davis saying?
Fell into the goddamn end zone.
Asylum. Just 3 words. What does Al Davis say?
Just win, baby.
I don't care if it's 3-2. We got a field goal and you guys got a safety. 3-2. Raiders win. Hey, it counts to the important stat that's in the season. That is the winning column. I don't win this way. Well, you know what? Hey, it's a win, isn't it? It doesn't matter how you win. The Raiders beat the Chargers 63-21. We didn't get to the playoffs. That was a nice win, wasn't it? And you know what? That happened after. Actually, no, it didn't. Devontae was there, but he didn't play in that game. He didn't play in that game.
His vagina was hurt at that time.
So
And look,
we
you
won.
wanna talk about shit like that. I mean, you have fucking Julian Edelman in the Super Bowl catching a ball on his ass. Do you hear him complaining that they won that game? No, I'm just glad I ended up with the ball. It could have been fucking ugly. That could have been no. Catch it with your ass cheeks. I don't give a flying fuck.
The bottom line.
They've been doing nothing but flapping ever since he left the fucking Raiders.
The bottom line is, Devontae, if you don't want to talk about your time with the Raiders, all you got to say is, hey, it happened. I'm over it. I'm ready for the next chapter. Let's move on. That's all you got to say. You ain't got to turn into a whole, I'm a victim. Hey, man, I'm a victim. Look at me. Dude, it's not my fault, man. If you were a playmaker, and Peggy has said this many times too, if you were a playmaker, you would make the plays. Tim Brown made the plays for the 16, 17 years he was here with the Raiders in LA and in Oakland with all those head coaches, with all those offensive coordinators, and with all those quarterbacks, with nobody really on the other side until we had Jerry Rice later in his career. He made the plays. So Devontae, he wore a Tim Brown jersey. You should have did the same thing. Tim Brown, hey, be that leader. We win the game, we win the game. But if you wanted to win the championship, you should have stayed in Green Bay because they weren't falling off. They didn't fall off, and you had to leave. You left.
See, the whole thing is he did not trust Jordan Love. He did not like Jordan Love because it wasn't a white man at quarterback. He likes that white cock in his mouth. There, I said it.
Cream filling. Okay, Asylum. Us fans, let's go on. Us fans, it is that time of year. It is preseason football where all of us are 0-0, but all of us will be 17-0 at the end of the season. My sister's like, controversy. Wait, what? We did Alicia, we did the Bill Cosby voice. You knew it was going to go to a dark place. Wait, that's also seems kind of bad too. It was going to go into a zip, zop, zip, bop. Okay, so Asylum. We, as Raider fans, also fall into the delusion that is of Raider Nation, or not Raider Nation, but of being football fans, NFL fans. This is our religion. This is the time of year where we all are hyped up, ready, and 17-0. So let's go and just kind of like go through the 5 stages. Now, this same guy, we did this episode a few weeks back where he talked about the 10 stages of
darkness retreat. We're not Aaron Rodgers.
No shrooms here. We talk about the same guy had put out the video about the 10 stages of being an NFL fan, becoming an NFL fan. Now, here is 5 stages of being a delusion. Oh wait, wrong one. Right here. There we go. Being a delusional, and this is all of us. Okay, this is no knock on everybody. He's a Vikings fan. We all suffer through this. Let's go through this real quick reaction video. Here we go.
Probably is not the right answer. The correct answer is yes.
It is for sure. Here we go.
Every offseason, NFL fan bases go through the same psychological torture. Their team lets them down, then over the course of just a few months, they regain hope and convince themselves that this year is going to be different. It's a 5-stage journey of delusion that I'm about to walk you through right now, starting with Stage 1, off-season depression. For most of us, this stage starts in January when our team doesn't make the playoffs, and for others, it starts after that heartbreaking playoff loss. Regardless of where your team's season officially ended, the real depression for just about everybody kicks in after the Super Bowl, because that's when you officially realize that there's no football to distract you from all the pain. It's just you, your thoughts, and months of darkness ahead. In this stage, it's most likely that you're probably looking for somebody to blame because that's easier than accepting the reality that your team let you down again. You're sitting there replaying the season in your head thinking things like the refs screwed you, your offensive coordinator should be fired, and if your starting running back hadn't gotten hurt in week 3, everything about this would be different. You might say things like, I'm done with this team. You might even dramatically announce to your group chat that you're, quote, taking a break from football with the same conviction as someone who says that they're never going to eat carbs again. If you have a significant other, they're probably trying to console you during this time and saying phrases like, there's always next year. And you have to physically restrain yourself from throwing yourself out your apartment window because they just don't understand that this year was supposed to be our next year. The worst part about the whole thing is that even though you're dead inside, you've already started to give yourself little pieces of false hope. While you're sitting there bundled up in your depression cocoon, you catch yourself thinking, man, if we just draft that guy out of Ohio State, that could really change everything. The grieving process was supposed to last longer than this, but here you are, ready to be hurt all over again.
All right, Asylum, stage 1, depression. Did you feel depression after this last season? 4-13 season.
After the season, I was starting to feel the depression during the season.
I mean, because we had high hopes going into last year after the way the Raiders ended the season in 2023, the way they beat the Chiefs on Christmas. You were there in that one. And then the way they closed out the season with the Broncos and everyone chanting AP. We're going into this offseason. We talked about this last year. We talked about this the last few weeks about last year of how the offensive coordinator hire was kind of flubbed or whatever happened with Kingsbury. We ended up at Getsy, and then just everything after that, and the quarterback battle that he knew should have went to O'Connell, but then he went with Minshew, and then we all saw what happened, and we were all just sitting there like, this is not what we planned going into this offseason. And now we're here again, Asylum. We're in a new offseason. Pete Carroll coming in, all positive. We're delusional. We could be delusional. Even Max Crosby said, you got to be a little delusional after everything we went through in the last few years. I haven't won a game in the playoffs. He only been to one playoff appearance. He only had 2 playoff appearances since the Super Bowl loss in 2002, Super Bowl 37. But we're here again, Asylum. We are back again. Tomorrow night's the first preseason game where we're going hard. We're going to take the West, the AFC West, the hardest division in the league. Are we delusional? Just on stage 1, Asylum?
110% yes.
Are you ashamed of it?
Am I what?
Are you ashamed of it?
Oh, fuck no.
Okay. Me either. Nah, it's not an intervention, okay? We're all here crazy.
When they make Gardner Minshew QB1 over 8.
Vincent knows. Because us too, because over here, we keep saying it. Team Ramrod.
Team Ramrod.
Okay.
Kill Team Ramrod, God damn it.
All right. Let's see what stage 2 offers. If we are at that next level at stage 2, here we go.
Stage 2, draft season delusions and free agency frenzy.
Yep.
Early March hits, and this is where free agency and the combine roll around. Suddenly, you're an expert on hand sizes, and soon your mind will be consumed with thoughts about muscular men running around in spandex. Before you know it, you're watching linebacker drills at 10 a.m. and calling your boss to let them know that you have food poisoning and won't be coming in today. When it comes to the combine, we all know that the highlight of the entire thing is the 40-yard dash. The best thing about the 40 is that you create win-win scenarios in your head about players that you like. If that guy that you like runs a fast 40, well, you knew that he was going to all along. And if he doesn't run a fast 40, everybody who knows ball knows that there's this thing called football speed that can't possibly be measured on a stopwatch. During this stage, you'll do a ridiculous amount of mock drafts, and somehow in all of your mock drafts, all of the best players just magically fall into your team's lap. In between mock drafts, you're probably running a franchise on Madden, and you're making all of the moves that your GM is too stupid to make. You know, like trading for elite players using only 6th-round picks, and somehow staying under the salary cap despite the fact that you somehow have managed to get 4 of the top 5 wide receivers in the league all on your team. If only your team's front office had your vision. Man, we'd be going. Not only is the draft hype in full effect, but free agency hype is at an all-time high. You've been patiently waiting for your team to make a big splash and hopefully sign one of the top free agents available, and then it finally happens. That ESPN notification hits your phone and it says, breaking, your team has signed offensive lineman Mike Williams Johnson III. Who the is Mike Williams Johnson III, and who decided to give that name to someone 3 times. Nobody's heard of this man, but if anyone asks, you're definitely going to pretend that you do. And on top of that, here's what's going to happen next. You're going to go to Reddit to figure out how to feel about this new player. And within about 20 minutes, the echo chamber has done its job. Your team's subreddit is a beautiful circle jerk of delusion where everybody's injecting the same amount of copium. You jump in a thread and you start reading comments like, he was buried on the depth chart. He's actually a huge steal. Then you see another comment that reads, PFF had him rated 39th in pass blocking when it's a full moon. You'd go through the rest of the thread, but really, you've seen all you needed to see. It's confirmation bias at its finest, but let's be honest, you didn't come here for anything but confirmation. You are now fully convinced that your front office is on the right track, and Mike Williams-Johnson III is that missing piece that you were looking for. On draft night itself, you turn it into a 3-hour ceremony where names being read aloud is somehow your biggest form of entertainment. Every pick that your team makes is genius, and every pick that your division rivals make is somehow a reach. The fact that your team hasn't drafted a Pro Bowler in 3 years doesn't matter at all. Your team's shiny new rookies, along with Mike Williams-Johnson III, are going to change everything about the culture. Stage 3.
Before we get to stage 3, now Asylum. I know we do this show.
I got to answer Vince's question. He never missed work over a loss. I have. I was so fucking hungover that I drank something hard because of the loss. I might have missed a day or two. My boss doesn't watch, so it's okay.
I missed a day for a game when I used to work at. I'll say it. When I used to work at FedEx, that Bronco game. That month, well, we thought it was going to be the final game of, the final game of Oakland. I said, you know what? I'm going to forget peak season. I'm calling in on Monday night. I'm going to the game. And I called in and I went to the game. They can't fire me now because I don't work for them anymore. So I can say that. But after a loss, I haven't done that because
you didn't drink hard enough.
Well, I went on the road and I used my aggression to yell at the people that cut me off. And I'd be all like, you cut me off? How dare you? And I start saying the opponent's names, whatever. But that was my form of therapy right there. And real quick, shouts out to KDO. He's the one that does our intro music. And the intro that you hear, if you never missed work after a loss, calling me out. Hey, he wants us to do a fantasy league with the viewers. If hey, I'm down. If there's enough viewers that want to go into a fantasy league, I'm down to do that. We got a few weeks to
so I'm down.
But stage 2 Asylum. I know we do this for our show where we have to look at the combine and try to see and try to find people who can tell us about the draft and all that. But I mean, we were doing that before we started doing the show, where we're sitting there watching hours and hours of NFL Network and ESPN and looking at prospects on all these different networks and listening to the radio and who do they think we're going to get? And are we going to trade up, trade down, do it this and that, da. We just signed so and so, and that's not a big signing. Who is that guy? The Patriots paid all this money.
Third, he's the missing piece. He said it. He's the missing piece of the team. And KDO, you'll do another stupid trade with me, and I'll win it again.
I'm coming for you, Booker T style. And Anna, it's easy. You pick the players when it's your turn to pick a player. You pick the players when it's your turn, and you basically just set up your roster. Who you feel is gonna make them going to have good stats that week, and then all the points that every player you start on that week, all the
it gets added up at the end of Monday, and then after the Monday game, and the one with the most points wins that week, and you basically build a football team off of all the NFL players.
And then whatever it's Yahoo Sports or NFL Network or ESPN, which I like ESPN, their format. Whatever league you're in, it'll random. They make a schedule and you're playing against whoever, and your points have to beat their points to win that week. So it's easy. It's easy. My sister is engaged to an Anna fan. But hey, if we're down to do it, a good league is at least 10. So It's at least 10.
Oh,
So
good
if we're
league
doing
is at least 8. 10 makes it a lot harder with waiver wires, and 12 makes it impossible.
so a Pig's Pig, Anna, my sister,
John
me,
Leon.
you, John Leon, if he's in there, Jeff, Vincent, our KDO, who's the intro, does the intro to the music of the show. We get him out there. Hey, email us, and we'll put the email at the end of the show. But email us and let us know. Maybe we'll put it out there. Maybe we'll do a little promo and be like, if you want to get down on this fantasy football in the cage match, who's going to be the cage match champion? Oh yeah, dig it. Anyways,
I haven't joined a single one yet. I need to, so let's make this decision.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'll set that up. I'll set that reel up, and we'll put it out there and see who wants to join. All right. Stage 3, Asylum. Here we go.
Rosterbation Station. It's now May, the draft is over, and most of the big free agents have already signed with their new teams. So you finally have a first look at a roster that you can now obsess over. This is when you create Excel spreadsheets and start mapping out the depth chart for your ideal 53-man team. It's during this period of deep rosterbation and analysis that you'll come to one of two conclusions. Either your team absolutely killed free agency in the draft, or they didn't do enough and they completely botched it. But the beautiful thing about it is that it doesn't really matter which conclusion you come to right now, because you're going to end up in the exact same place at the end of this stage. If you think that your team crushed it, schedule release day just becomes a day of validation. You're mapping out wins and losses like someone who's never been hurt before. If you happen to fall into that group that thinks your team didn't do enough, you're going to convince yourself that, yeah, your team failed, but everybody else failed a lot harder. You'll be telling yourself things like, actually, a quiet offseason is a good thing because we're just building in the right way. Either way, by the time that you're done with your calculations, your 5-12 team from last year is now well on their way to being 12-5 minimum. We also can't forget that in this stage, you're comparing your roster to your division rivals, and you're not particularly impressed with what they've done. That first round pick that they made has obvious character issues that are going to come back to bite them in the ass. And yeah, sure, they did make that big free agent signing, but that guy's completely washed. We will not talk about the fact that if either of those players were on your team, your outlook on them would be completely flipped on its head. This also might be the time when you start finding and sharing articles that say that your team is going to be the one that absolutely shocks the rest of the league. Never mind the fact that every other team in the league has the same exact article written about them. This specific article that you found is unbiased, unlike all those other ones. By the end of May, you've convinced yourself that your team, the same one that was full of holes just a few months ago, is now complete because you added 8 rookies and a guard that nobody wanted. Your division is there for the taking, and training camp can't come fast enough because you need to see this dream team in action. The delusion is reaching dangerous levels, and your guys haven't even put on pads yet. Before we go to the next stage, I just want to say, if you're enjoying the video and feeling generous, consider leaving a like and maybe even subscribing. It really does help the channel, and it gives me a warm and fuzzy feeling in places that I can't talk about on camera. Anyways, back to the video.
Hey, you're talking to the wrong people. Go talk to Devontae Adams for that one.
All right.
You want that warm and fuzzy the places you can't talk about.
Do you? He said, I can't talk about places where I was touching my no-nos. Anyways, Asylum. Okay. Stage 3, rosterbation. Do you have rosterbation?
I told you. I just swear he was just watching our show.
Rosterbation sensation over here.
We just went through that. Here, does this help?
We 12. Mine was 12-5. You said 11-6. I said 12-5, even though we were 4-15. We were 4-13 last year. Yeah, we were so bad we even lost playoff games. We didn't even play. That's how bad we were.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we lost. The bye week didn't go on our way. Anyways, but yeah, that's what we do. We did the schedule show. And we were like, you know what? I know that we didn't win this. We didn't beat this team in the next amount of years, but I feel like this time we have the right formula to get this team in the end this time. We always talk about the Chiefs. Well, the Chiefs, we're always there on the brink. We've been there for a brink for a long time. We got them 2 years ago on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. But almost had them on Black Friday.
Had them on Black fucking Friday.
Yes, and like he said, we're gonna take the division this time, man. We're good. Oh my God! See, even my voice was stopping me. Like, no, stop being delusional. But I'm not gonna stop being delusional. Okay, because that's what we do. Never. Are you ready for stage 4, Asylum?
No, I don't want stage 4 cancer. It's okay. You can keep that.
Here we go.
Stage 4, propaganda season.
That's us.
It's June now, and by this time, OTAs have commenced for just
next. We already got this.
This is where the propaganda machine really starts to kick into high gear. Every single piece of information that comes out of camp is positive because we all know that when it comes to your team, it's physically impossible for anything bad to happen between now and August. And if there did happen to be anything negative coming out of camp, you'll just write it off as complete propaganda. You saw a tweet that your new favorite rookie looked smooth in drills today. Based on that tweet from a beat writer who's probably watched 20 minutes of practice, you've determined that that rookie is on Hall of Fame trajectory. This is also when the phrase best shape of his life gets thrown around a lot. Your team has a 35-year-old linebacker coming off his 3rd knee surgery who hasn't played a full season since Pop Warner, and you better believe that man is in the best shape of his life. At this point in the offseason, even the equipment manager is obviously in the best shape of his life. It's an epidemic of fitness that somehow only exists from June to August and mysteriously disappears by week 3 of the regular season. By the time training camp is in full swing, the hype is just too much to resist. Every catch is spectacular, every throw is perfect, and every rookie on your team looks like they've been in the league for years. Beat reporters become prophets delivering daily sermons of hope. Their tweets are dissected by your team's fan base like ancient texts. They'll say things like the connection between QB1 and wide receiver 2 is means absolutely nothing, but the important thing is that it is enough to sustain you for another 24 hours until you read the next extremely vague headline. By August, you've convinced yourself that every weakness from last year has been fixed, and you're going to be roster baiting daily until you finally see your team suit up in preseason. Stage 5, preseason.
Oh, here we go. The delusion of everything we hear in training camp is positive. We finally got the pieces. We finally got everything put together. We got the quarterback that's making these dime throws down the field. Jack Besh is making these catches. Dante Thornton is over here just lining it up. It's over.
Jerking off the goddamn dinosaur because he's so goddamn tall. I mean, that's partly true. I think on our show, we're a little bit more realistic. And it's not our fault that all the news that comes out of training camp is positive. Do you ever hear any stories coming out that are bad? They're always all positive. So I got to take it as it's a positive. And, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's like we're trying because we're not there in practice. And we can only go by the highlights we see. And of course, they're not going to put out there, oh, look, so-and-so has dropped 6 passes straight during training camp. They'll say something like, so-and-so is not having a great camp, but tomorrow is going to be great. He's going to try to bounce back. And Pete Carroll has said this positive about him. And They're not going to put the negative news out there. But they're going to put out the positives because that's what we do. That's part of the propaganda. Get your team fired up, get your fans fired up, and you know, be ready to go for when it's game 1. You guys are out there cheering and having your teams back out there. But I mean, and we take that news and we pass it along to the people who watch our show. Because like we said, that's all we can do is off of what we hear, these videos, podcasts that players have, Max Crosby, you know, X posts, Facebook posts, press conferences, you know, what they say in the radio. It's what we have. This is our drug that keep us going until the actual football starts to play. So we fall into that propaganda, and I ain't ashamed of it. Here we go, Asylum. Last stage. Let's close it out. Last stage. Preseason gem hunting. Here we go.
Preseason gem hunting.
For all you
Preseason's
fantasy football
here.
players,
You finally get the first chance to see your new team in action. Well, sort of. Starters play one series, go 3 and out, and immediately the overreactions begin. If your starters happen to look really good, well, that just means that your offseason assessments were right all along. If your starters look bad, you tell yourself, it's just preseason, guys. They're saving it all for week 1. But let's be serious here. Preseason isn't about the starters anyways. It's about discovering diamonds in the rough, and brother, they don't call you the best scout in your NCAA dynasty for no reason. You know talent when you see it. In the third quarter of the second preseason game, some undrafted kid from Northwest Central State Tech makes a spectacular one-handed catch against a cornerback who will soon be selling insurance. But that doesn't matter. What matters is that you've just witnessed the birth of a superstar. You're calling up your Fantasy League's commissioner saying things like, "Hey man, just wanted to give you a heads up that you might want to send the trophy my way now because I just picked up this year's Puka Nacua." By the end of the preseason, you've identified at least 3 future Pro Bowlers that nobody else knows about. Your depth chart is loaded with hidden gems, and you've probably already mapped out how if they don't make the final 53-man roster, they're going to take a team-friendly deal and hang out on the practice squad for 3 years while they develop. You're feeling so good about the state of your team going into the regular season that you've already requested time off work for playoff weekends. In fact, you're already looking at Super Bowl tickets. Not to buy them, of course, that would be insane. It's, just in case. The regular season is just days away now, and you've reached peak delusion. Your team is going to set the league on fire. All of those experts who said that your team is going to go 4-13 are about to eat their words. And hey, don't forget that even if your team sucks this year, you'll be back here ready to repeat the cycle all over again. And that, my friends, is the 5 stages of the NFL offseason cycle.
Those are your 5 stages. Hey, it's not days away anymore, preseason. It is hours away now. We are within the 24-hour mark. Tomorrow night, the Raiders take on the Seahawks. Pete Carroll, Geno Smith, and the other Adams comes over here to Seattle, where I'm at right now. In Seattle, faces their former team, and it's preseason. I'm trying to hype this up as best as I could. It's preseason, but I'll be there, and this is where we all get to see our silver and black out there, and for reals in a game time situation. So I can't wait. Asylum, can you contain yourself? Tomorrow night it's preseason Raider football.
I'm gonna have to because the game don't start till 9:00 my time, so I'm gonna have to make a decision. Do I call in on Friday? Nice thing is I got a doctor's appointment early in the morning, so I don't go in right away. So I might be able to catch the whole game.
Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow, and of course we'll talk about it when we come back on Wednesday because we also got to talk about the following game, which is the 49ers. In Las Vegas. So football season is back, baby. Football season is back, and I can't wait. You can't wait. Asylum can't wait. It's going down in Seattle, right here where I'm standing. Across this bush, past this building, near the water, is where Lumen Stadium is at. Asylum, let's get ready for some football. Any last words, Asylum, especially for tomorrow night's game? Raiders. Well, I already met 2 Raider fans today. Hopefully we block out that stadium. Preseason or not, it is what it is. We're going to take over. It's what we do. Raider Nation for life. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much for watching our show. We had a good audience here watching. It must be football season because they came back to the cage match. If you are interested in doing or for us to put together a fantasy football league, make sure you let us know. Go to, where is that? Here it is. thecagematchshow@gmail.com. Let us know, and then we'll send you if we have enough people, we'll send you an invite, and we can get this cage match league. We'll call it the Royal Rumble in the cage match, Survivor Series, all those titles. All right, let's end the show right now because I'm ready for some Raider football. All right, we're going to end the show like we usually do with the word from Raider Milt, aka my high school coach, Coach Wallace. To keep his memory alive. Cadio knows him. We went to the same school. He knows the intensity of Mr. Wallace. So let's end this show like this. Get ready for tomorrow night. Raider football, 7 p.m., 9 p.m. Asylum time out there. Come on, Arcadio. Whatever.
I didn't want to put that up because you know what? I thought we had enough game this song with Devontae Adams, but added to it.
Go there, the Cage Match Show cagemash@gmail.com if you are interested in being a part of the Cage Match Royal Rumble fantasy football league. Here we go. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a good night. Raider football tomorrow night. Let's go. Take care, everybody. See you on next Wednesday. Peace out.
All you other NFL teams, your tailgates are weak. Your teams are weak. We might be down right now, but it doesn't take away the history. And all you Raiders out there need to know your fucking history of who the fuck you playing for and where the fuck you're playing. Damn it. Oh, and by the way, I won my last cage fight. Again, I'm still undefeated. And you NFL motherfuckers out there that you think you want some, come on and get some anytime.